Okay, everyone, we are with you once again with Stan the Man here to talk about body mastery. I know you guys are excited about this because we said that this week, or this month rather, we were going to focus on talking about the lymphatic system, something that a lot of us don't really think about, that is woven into everything from our immune system, our detoxification systems, all types of really good stuff. So without further ado, Stan, tell us a little bit more about the lymphatic system and how it relates to our body mastery.
Well, that's a great way to begin this. But let me ask you and also the audience, when you get done with your food and your preparation and your meals and the wrappings and all that, you throw that into a dresser drawer, or do you have something under the cabinet that has a bag that you can actually tie up, and then you just leave it there? I mean, how often do we take the trash out, right? So, if you're one of those people that only takes the trash out once a month, things start to get a little bit smelly under there. Even though you got a little extra room in that trash bag, keeping it under the sink, even if you close the door, it's going to make that cabinet stink. Would you agree?
Well, absolutely, Stan. And actually, I live in the country, so I actually have to take my trash out every day, or else little critters come and want to move into my house, and I don't want that. So I can relate. Absolutely. Okay.
So when it comes to the body, the same thing happens, is that we're like a trash can. We collect things that are all around us. We collect our environment, our air. We collect the products that we put on our clothes, or we're around people that put products on their clothes. If you're putting lotions and potions on your body, that can also plug up and create what I'm going to call as trash. And what I want to ask you is, or ask the audience is, are you working for your body, or is your body working for you? You see, if you answer the question that you're working for your body, that means you're in a reactive mode. You're in a fight or flight, even though you don't know it, and you start getting all the symptoms of dis-eases, chills, sickness, skin irritation. Your organs aren't working right. You're constantly plugged up. You're itchy. You're scratchy. You're irritated. Well, part of that is because our body is a trash collector. And if we don't get rid of that trash, it plugs up. And as it plugs up, then our lymphatic system, the garbage dump that gets rid of all of those toxins, gets backed up. And imagine if the trash service went on strike for a week, a month, or 6 months, sometimes 6 years, or even 30 years. Imagine what the block would smell like. And that's actually what happens in your body, is when your lymphatic system is not operating at an optimal level, then your system is getting plugged up and backed up. And this is what causes a lot of the dis-eases that we have. So I've shared that. What thought do you have as of right now?
Well, my major thought is that I definitely don't want to put those bags into the cabinet for a long time, because I truly want to make sure that I can move things along and out of the body as efficiently as possible. So can you tell us a little bit more about ways that we can optimize our lymphatic system to get that trash out?
Well, that's a great question. And I'm not a lymphatic specialist, but what I do is I add 1% elements to my daily routine. And, these are body hacks. These are biohacks. Anything that I can do to increase my capacity of life and my enjoyability of life. And I don't know if enjoyability is a word, but it will be a new word now. And that's what I want. I want to have the ability to do the things that I enjoy 30 years from now, 40 years from now. And it's possible when I take control and I have my body working for me rather than me working for my body.
Yeah.
So one of the simplest, most simplest ways that you can engage your lymphatic system is, number one, get off your butt and bounce up and down on your feet. Or if you have a rebounder, if you do that for 30 seconds, you engage the lymphatic system. You start shaking things up. You start loosening things. And by doing that, you will also get more energy. So when the body is in movement, when body's in motion, then we get more energy. You know, I hear people say all the time, as they're sitting on their blessed assurance that they're watching these kids out in the playground or in the park, and they go, gosh, I just wish I had the energy that I used to have. And they're saying this as they're watching kids that are moving, kids that are out there playing on the ground. They're getting in contact with the ground. They're engaging their lymphatic system. Mm-hmm. They're breathing in deep. They're changing the dynamics of their lungs. As they change that breath in and out, that blood is circulating. It's not allowing the trash to collect. Now, we train them how to be studious and sit in a chair for 6 hours a day for the most part. We give them 2 minutes to go from class to class. And we're teaching them how to sit. Mm-hmm. Right? And, you know, one of the sad things is that even in some schools, used to be that phys ed was mandatory in high school. I don't think it's mandatory in high school. Phys ed classes all 4 years in school.
No, I think it's like a year now or something like that.
And it used to be. So what is that promoting? It's promoting a sick care system. Yeah. Okay. Now, when our lymphatic system gets plugged up, now we're not breathing correctly. And I don't know if we talked about this in the past, but most of us breathe north and south. Mm. We're only breathing enough to survive. Imagine if you have a flashlight and you're walking in the dark and the batteries are at the very minimum capacity to engage some power. Do you think that you're going to find what you're looking for in the dark if you had to? No, but we do this with our body all the time. We go by with the minimal amount of energy and we expect it to operate at an optimal level. Mm. And you know, the sick care system that we have doesn't teach people this. And it's a simple thing. Jumping on a rebounder. Mm-hmm. One of the best ways that you can do 10 minutes a day can change the trajectory of your life. Unbelievable, right? So where is the lymphatic system at? It's just below the surface of the skin. So it's not like a deep tissue massage. I mean, deep tissue massage feels great. Don't get me wrong. But the lymphatic, you can engage the lymphatic system and begin to drain it, get the trash out of the body. And I'll tell you what, as you detoxify, you're going to feel bad in the beginning. Okay. Because imagine this, you've got a brand new garbage disposal. And you just start shoving food in there, right? You don't turn the button, you know, that little button on the side that makes it go crazy. Well, you start shoving food in there. And then your sink doesn't drain very well. And you call the plumber. And the plumber says, well, it's $100 service charge. And it's a minimum of $100. And if there's any parts or anything that are needed, then those are extra. So he shows up, right? And he looks in the garbage. Well, the stench is just horrible. And he flips the button and stuff just starts moving around. And sure enough, it drains. And you go, gosh, if I knew it was that easy, I would have done that, 3 weeks ago when I started shoving food in there. I thought it just worked by itself. But this is, I say this in being funny, but that's the truth. The body doesn't work by itself. It's a tool giving us the ability to have a human experience, a full human experience. And the lymphatic is one of those tools in the human experience. So how do we do this? How can we do this? If you don't have a rebounder, you can just bounce up and down on your toes, okay? And just 30 seconds of movement can change everything. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper and do like a 5 or 10 minute exercise, your lymphatic empties towards your heart. So it drains towards your heart, and then the body disperses. It gets rid of all that junk. So when you do this lymphatic massage, you want to move things towards the heart down. Now, there's different teachings, and I need to study a little bit more on it, but I've been fascinated because one of the things that I know, when my mom had cancer, and she had cancer for 3.5 years before she died. And once the cancer went into her lymph nodes, that's when it's like
explodes,
downhill slope fast.
Yeah.
And nobody ever said anything about getting the lymphatic system drained, getting the lymphatic system clean. Nobody said anything.
Yeah.
Now, could it have prevented her from dying prematurely? I'm going to say absolutely 100%.
Yeah.
And what happens is we have a system of drugs or cutting. So take the lymphatic system out. When you take the lymphatic system out or you sever it, now what you do is you create a landfill, and there's no excavators. There's nothing to cover it up. And now you've got all this toxin in your body, and it has nowhere to go. Guess where it does go? It goes into the blood system. It goes into the bones. It goes into your kidneys and your liver. And then, it's a one-way ticket to an uncomfortable experience. So what can we do? What can we do? Simply, I've picked up a couple YouTube videos that I've watched. The listeners, I would highly recommend, just type in lymphatic massage. There's one guy that I follow because I know some of the listeners here are not even going to do that. So if I don't show them, if I don't tell them, they're going to say, well, I'll get to it. I don't want to do that. I want to service the listeners today. So one of the areas, and you can just rub lightly. Now, one other thing that I want to say is don't do the lymphatic massage in the shower. Okay, because the skin expands, the warm water in the skin expands. So do your lymphatic massage before you get into the shower, or wait till your body has dried off, and then the skin retracts, and then you go about your day, and then you can do this. So the one teacher that I've gotten a hold of or watched is that you can do the top 6. So you start here above the collarbone. You go above the collarbone and down, and you do pulls down towards the heart, and then you do circles, and you do clockwise circles and then counterclockwise circles, and you work the other side. Then behind the ears, right at the jawline, right here, then they can do this pull straight down, and then do circles, and then underneath the armpit, because there's a big lymphatic system right here. So they do this same thing. Now, it doesn't have to be deep tissue massaging. It's just the lymph is right below the skin surface. So just with that, you can do this with your hand, then at your belly. Okay, so you take and you put your belly button in the palm of your lower hand right here, and the other hand is stacked up on top. So if I was standing up, okay, so my belly button here, and then I'm going to massage all of these organs right here, okay? And then the V in your groin, okay? So where that goes, you're here again, you're bringing it up towards the heart. That's the fifth location. And then behind your knees, they say that your calf is actually like your second heart. So behind the knees, yes. So there's a teacher in Canada that talks about the calves being the second heart. And so behind the knees, you do that. And then when you're done with those 6 areas, now you bounce up and down for 30 seconds and it changes everything. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper and maybe even more effective, I have gotten these brushes and the company is called Afivico.
Yeah.
And it's on Amazon. And I'm not getting anything on this, so I'm not promoting. So I don't have a link. I'm not getting any, kickback or anything like that. I'm just telling you, what I do is I am a evangelist. And what an evangelist is one beggar telling another beggar where the food is. And so all I'm doing is telling you where the food is. And you can get this body brush. They've got 4 for the set for $20. You can't beat it. But you take this brush and you do it dry brushing on your skin and you just lightly come across. Now, it's a little bristly at first, takes a little bit to get used to. Don't do this right out of the shower. Otherwise, we'll be getting hate mail. But you take this on your body and you do this dry brushing. And it's amazing what you'll feel even after one time. They have a face brush as well. You can do this back here. You've got lymph on your face, so you can do different things like this right here. Lymphatic system is all throughout your body.
So Stan, it's wonderful that you're talking about skin brushing because what I did this year after my cucumbers had reached their peak, I then planted my loofahs. So here you have one of my loofah pods, and now it's gotten to its full size. So I picked it, and now it's in the process of drying out. And once it dries out, I'll be able to peel off the skin, and then I will have my loofah.
Oh, nice.
Loofah is one of the really wonderful things that you can do that's natural to be able to do your skin brushing. So optimal. I always love talking about skin brushing when we're doing our cleansing and detoxification programs, but really and truly, it can be part of your daily self-care routine. Wait until your skin is dry, and that's why they call it dry skin brushing.
Right.
And it's a very light movement. It is not like massage that is going into the muscles, because as Stan says, your lymphatic system really runs right underneath the skin, the epithelial level. So you don't want to go, That's not what it is. It's about a nice light brushing. And not only will it be good for exfoliating your skin, but it's also phenomenal, as Stan says, at activating and further facilitating the movement of the lymphatic system.
Yeah.
Your loofahs.
Yeah. That's amazing. I love that. I'll have to make a trip to Florida to get one of those.
Or I'll send you some seeds and you can plant it in your backyard next summer.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. That sounds amazing. Why is it, Michelle, that this information is not being promoted? I mean, if we really had a healthcare system, wouldn't we want to be proactive rather than wait till we got to be
you know my take on that. Follow the money. That's all I'm going to say is there's only so much you're going to get off of a loofah in terms of monetary cashing in. And in fact, these are seeds that were given to me by one of my neighbors, and I'm, by the same token, I'm willing to send some to you, Stan. So Absolutely. It's health actually The reason why we do not promote health is because you can't really make money off of the stuff. I mean, off of the sunshine, off of drinking natural, healthy water, eating real food. That's not where the big bucks are. The big bucks are in the pills, the potions, and the procedures.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But in any case, Stan, I want to thank you for being able to share with us today about the lymphatic system. So let's get moving, you guys. Move it. We gotta move it. Right, Stan?
That's exactly right. Yeah. Move it or lose it.
Oh, very, very true. So until next month, you guys, send us in your questions or your concerns so that we can address them in our upcoming episodes of Body Mastery with Stan.